I'm calling Brett Hudson.
Thank you, Mr Chair. It's a pleasure to speak on this bill, particularly after that last contribution. But the main point I think we should focus on here as we look to progress this is that this bill is all about providing choice. It provides choice for workers. It provides choice for New Zealanders to choose what they do on their Easter Sunday. It provides choice for employers. It provides choice for territorial authorities. Mr Chair, I've never met a city, district or regional councillor yet who has said that they don't think that regulations and bylaws and ways of operating should somehow not be reflective of what their local residents, ratepayers, constituents want. So it's pretty amazing actually that in this House what we hear is people saying, opposing a bill that offers those territorial authorities, offers those councillors the ability to put out to their residents a question of what would you like to do, what would you have us do across our area, and then put that into practice. What's more, it offers a means to do so which is far less expensive, I would argue, than something like 77 referenda held across the country. In fact, with the Minister's supplementary order paper, a fine supplementary order paper it is, having listened to expert advice during the Select Committee process, there was a suggestion that instead of using the bylaw process, that we could do it as a matter of policy instead, the policy process, but with special consultative provisions to make sure that we are hearing the right voices, or those authorities, those councillors, are hearing the right voices and acting appropriately. But fundamentally, what this bill would do, should it pass, and I certainly hope that it will have my vote along with my colleagues in the National Caucus, is it fundamentally allows residents, workers, employers and representatives in the local areas across New Zealand the right to choose whether or not, in whole or in part, shops can open across their district, their area. And fundamentally, if Parliament is going to deal with this issue, the best way to deal with it is to place that power in the hands of those individuals and their local representatives. So I am pretty shocked, it has to be said, sir, that so many people think that choice and freedom are bad things, but nonetheless, that is what they appear to hold. So the other parts, of course, which are very, very key to making this work, Mr Chair, within the changes that would change Section 5 of the Principal Act, those which will provide protections, particularly to workers who, for reasons of their own, do not wish to work on Easter Sunday. Now, the bill is very clear that those employees will have every protection that New Zealand employment law and this bill can offer them. So what I find astounding, Mr Chair, because there have been several contributions in this reading and others, that suggests that those protections don't work because employees are too scared to use them. What those people are saying, Mr Chair, is that none of the employment protections that exist on the statute books in New Zealand, that the previous Labor government was responsible for some of, that none of them work. So what they're basically saying in this House in this debate is we should strike them all off the books, because they don't believe they work. Actually, what they really think, Mr Chair, is they think they work when it suits them, but won't work when it's a measure that this government is trying to make. So I find it, I'm quite flabbergasted to hear that those members opposite think that employment protection doesn't actually work. But this bill, if it is passed, Mr Chair, will provide those protections to employees. It's very clear about that. In fact, one of the changes which I do hope is in the SOP, I will admit I haven't looked at the specific area of detail, but one of the changes that we did suggest to officials through the process was that, in actual fact, the way that the bill had been written is that it would have demanded that employees go straight to a personal grievance process should they want to protest against being, in their mind, made to work on Easter Sunday. So I'll be looking, as this debate continues, to see if we have changed that. But I would say, on the whole, very, very pleased to see all of the other changes in the SOP. And I do hope, Mr Chair, that this bill will see favour with a majority in this House. I certainly know that I will be voting in favour of it, and my colleagues will be also.
Mr Chair.
I'm going to call Gareth Hughes.